Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm here with the mid-year book Freakout tag. This tag was originally created by Chammy and Ellie, and I will leave links to their channels below. Myself, like all of BookTube, do this at least once a year, so we can kind of check in on where we're at with our reading goals, and I'm concerned. But anyway, we're just gonna get straight into it. Question number 1, the best book you've read so far in 2019. Oof, that's a tough one. So there's a few best books that I've read this year so far, and I'm really struggling to like figure out which one it is. I mean, obviously my first favorite is gonna be Dark Dawn by J. Kristoff, which I mean, technically I read last year, but I read this copy this year, which is almost the final copy. So also that's my quote. But I'm gonna go with probably Dark Dawn, with like the honorable mentions being Dragon Republic by R.F. Kuang, which is the second book after the Puppy War, as well as Holy Sister, which is the final book in the Book of the Ancestor trilogy by Mark Lawrence, and The Shattered Glass by Rinch Peko, which is the third and final book in the Bone Witch series. So like it's like a 4. I mean Dark Dawn, but it's like a 4 so far. Question number 2, the best sequel you've read so far in 2019, which is definitely just gonna have to go to The Dragon Republic by R.F. Kuang because it was the best. And most of my other favorite series have been like concluding this year. It's gonna have to be The Dragon Republic. Question 3, a new release you haven't read yet but really want to. Now I'm sure it just means one, but I've got 3. The first one is the one I'm actually about to start reading today, and that's Warrior of the Wild by Trisha Levenseller. Trisha Levenseller also wrote the Daughter of the Pirate King series. So this is the one I'm gonna start today. Also Deviate by J. Kristoff, which is the second book in the Lifelike series. I've had this one for a while now, I just haven't gotten around to reading it because I get through the first like 10 pages, the language kills me and I have to like recalibrate my brain, but I will get around to it. And the final one is Time of Blood by John Gwynne, which is the second book in the Faithful and the Fallen saga continuation. I forget, the first one was the Faithful and the Fallen saga. This is the second book in the new trilogy. Does that make sense? Question number 4, your most anticipated release for the rest of the year. Definitely Dark Age, which comes out in 27 days. So definitely Dark Age. There's a few that I'm really looking forward to. I'm looking forward to everyone's reactions about Dark Dawn, as well as the pre-order, which if you haven't done, go and pre-order Dark Dawn and send your details to the pre-order thing, because you're gonna want to read this smutty extra chapter. It's possibly the best smut I've ever read in my entire life. Question number 5, biggest disappointment. There were a few actually. There were a few books that I was really hyped to read and then I was just kind of like, meh. Those include The Wicked King by Holly Black, The Girl King by Mimi Yu, the entire Grisha trilogy, and King of Scars. My 2 most disappointing books for the year, which ones that I was really hyped to read. One is Wicked Saints, and that I only became hyped with like in that month of kind of picking it up because everyone was saying it was great. And the second one is Priory of the Orange Tree by Samantha Shannon, which was one of our book club book of the month. And it was all of the things that I wanted, I just hated it. Number 6, biggest surprise. Now the one that surprised me the most, I think, was The Stormcrow, which is about to come out in the next few days. I was really surprised by that. I had some problems with it and things that I didn't love about it, but overall I remember enjoying it and being like, oh. Also Kingsbane by Claire Legrand, because Furyborn was a clusterfuck of trash that I loved anyway. I expected Kingsbane to be much the same, and it was the same, but it definitely took it up a level of like goodness. It got better. It was still trashy. There's a lot of sex in that book. I have a review to which I've linked above if you want to go check it out. Question 7, new favourite author, whether it's debut or new to you. Jen Lyons, who wrote Ruin of Kings, which is a new fantasy book that I loved this year. The second book comes out later in the year, and I really enjoyed it. Like, it was a thick fantasy book, and it's something that I definitely needed my whole brain to kind of wrap around, and people will either love it or they will hate it, because there's no middle ground for it. It's so fucking intense, but it's great. Will you shut up, strange dog? Amazing. When it's not my bird screaming, it's somebody else's fucking dog. Question 8, newest fictional crush. And this is a tough one. I'm probably gonna go with, I'm gonna pronounce his name wrong, Nezha from The Dragon Republic by R.F. Kuang, who I didn't love in book 1. I now love him in book 2. Precious, must be predicted at all costs. Also Queen Rhaena from Fire and Blood by George R.R. Martin. She was one of the Targaryens. Mwah. Mwah. We stand a lesbian queen. Question 9, newest favourite character. Oh, look, much the same, to be honest. I haven't really, Sister Pan from Holy Sister. She just stepped it up a whole other level. If you've read the book The Scene that I'm thinking of, you know the scene I'm thinking of. Oh, also Cloud, who you haven't met yet. He's in Dark Dawn, Cloud Corleone. I think you're gonna love him. I think you're gonna love him. Question 10, books that made you cry. Oh, there's a long list. Where should I begin? In an Absent Dream by Shauna Maguire, Shattered Glass by Rinch Peko, Red Sister, Grey Sister, Bound, and Holy Sister, i.e. the entire Book of the Ancestor series by Mark Lawrence, The Dragon Republic, Dark Dawn, Red Rising, Golden Sun, and Morningstar. Those are all the books that made me cry this year so far. Books that made you happy. All of the above. Question 12, most beautiful book you've received this year or bought. It's definitely gonna have to go to Dark Dawn because there is nothing better than Mr. Kindly on a cover. I mean, like, yes, my quote's on it, and you're gonna hear me talk about that for the rest of my life. It's just my quote being on one of my favorite books. But I've always wanted a Mr. Kindly cover. Obviously we've got the crow and we've got the wolf, and now we have a Mr. Kindly cover, and it is beautiful. And like, if you've seen the full cover with like the really in-depth detail Mr. Kindly, I want that tattooed on my back. I'm not gonna get it tattooed on my back because I'm an actor and I can't, it's weird, but if I could, I would want that. Question 13, what books do you need to read by the end of the year? Most of my TBR, to be honest. I have a lot on my TBR. I really want to get through the Old Kingdom series by Garth Nix, which I will be starting in this month coming. That was one of my Patreon poll winners, so I will be reading Sabriel. I also have a Patreon, link down below if you're interested. There's a few Jennifer Fallon books that I've had for years that I kind of want to get into, but I haven't started yet. Question 14, favorite book community member. Who am I enjoying at the moment? Well, I mean, like, all my regulars are like Kaz, Jean, Chammy, Sophia. Els isn't on BookTube anymore, but she's on BookTwitter, so I guess that counts. I haven't really had time to watch anyone in the last kind of month because we've been shooting Nevernight. Two Allies, both of the Allies. Allie from Allie Corvea and Allie from Hardback Hoarder. I love them. I love them. And Yasmin from Yasmin the Reader. Love her too. And she's also been like really like fueling my fire with the fitness stuff like offside of BookTube, so that is also very helpful and handy. Anyway, that was the Midget Book Freakout tag. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below, and I will see you next time. Bye!